Hi everyone, in this video we're learning about the classification of numbers. Properly put, the title of this topic is actually called integers, rational numbers and real numbers. But like I said before, it's more like a study of the classification of numbers. So for example, in primary school we learned that there are odd numbers and there are even numbers. And of course in Sec 1, which we probably learned recently, that there are prime numbers and composite numbers. So in this topic, what we'll do, we're looking at the more classification of numbers that will be interesting for you in your time in secondary school. So the first classification are your positive and negative numbers. It's probably something that you've already heard about or already interacted with in your time in math. And to understand positive and negative numbers, we need to set ourselves up with a number line that looks something like that. So the first thing you need to take notice of is that all the numbers to the right are what we refer to as your positive numbers, and that's your shorthand, plus and a VE. And of course, you have your negative numbers to the left. So anything to the right is positive all the way to 100, 1,000, to a million, and to infinity. And to the left is your negative 100, negative 10,000, all with negative infinity as well. All the numbers goes on left and right. Next, you also need to understand that 0 is a special number because it's neither positive nor negative, right? And also, in this particular section, we also need to understand there's a different kind of numbers being displayed here. It is actually your integers. This is something probably that's new for you. Integer. So basically, integers are just whole numbers. Whole numbers. So every of these numbers from the one I'm circling, they're all your integers. Now, because they're all whole numbers. But there's something that's also happening here that's special. In what is being displayed here, everything that is past your 0, different color for this, everything that's past your 0 is actually what we refer to as your natural numbers. So you can highlight for yourself everything that's over here. Natural numbers. So this is your third kind of numbers we need to discuss. What are natural numbers? One way to understand natural numbers is that they are counting numbers. Numbers that you use to count. Counting numbers. So for example, you want to count the number of fingers in your hand, you count with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You always start with 1 and you never start with 0. So for example, 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, 4, so on and so forth. So what are these numbers actually? They are simply your positive whole numbers. So in this discussion, we are learning a few things already. We are learning number 1, our positive and negative numbers. Number 2, we learn what are integers. And number 3, we learn something called natural numbers, which is a group of integers that are just positive and they fall on the number line as how other integers do as well. Alright? Positive and negative numbers, integers, and natural numbers. Alright, that's all. Thank you.